Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Elite Wrestling World. I am your host GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here for AEW Worlds and pay-per-view post-show review. What a banger of a show that was. MJF is the new AEW World Champion and Jon Moxley wins the Continental title in a shocking way. So let's get dive into it and talk about that. So we started off the pay-per-view with the semi-final match between Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita, one of the most anticipated matches that we wanted to see is in the semi-finals. Aside from the first few seconds, I thought this was an excellent match and the crowd was very hot for this opener. Of course, there had to be shenanigans to get Okada the win against Takeshita in the first match to continue the storyline, and the story is slowly being built that Takeshita is going to leave the Callis family. And I think the finish that we got in this match clearly uh, clearly just mentioned that we will get a trilogy between these two men, and Takeshita will be out of the Callis family by the end of this feud. And I think that was a very good opening match, a very good semi-final match. We got some near falls, and for the finish we saw Takeshita ducked an initial charge. Paul Turner, who stood there awkwardly, and he just missed the screwdriver shot from Okada, and this allowed Okada to deck Takeshita with the screwdriver, and Callis briefly checked on Takeshita, but Okada pins him and leaves him in the ring and qualify for the finals. I think that finish we got, we'll get to another match. I think Revolution is gonna be the destination for the next match, and it's gonna be a fantastic match. Next semi-final is Jon Moxley versus Kyle Fletcher. Unbelievable match, one of the best match in the Continental Classic this year. The fans behind Moxley after a full year of hating him, I think that was very shocking to see. He's turning babyface slowly. Fletcher uh, Fletcher looks fantastic in the whole tournament, and I think that was a very good match by Fletcher. The false finishes with the crowd biting all of them made this very first meeting to remember between these two. I can't say enough good words about this match. And for the finish, we saw Fletcher searching for the screwdriver that he planted, but he doesn't know that Okada uses it in his match and took it out from there. And that was the opening that Moxley took, and for the finish, he just choke him out with the bulldog choke, and Moxley moves to the finals. So again, a very good match by these two. Next up, we saw the Chicago Street Fight FTR Bang Bang Gang for the AEW Tag Team Championship. This certainly was a weapons-filled street fight. I just think it should have been gone on later in the show, as the crowd seemed exhausted after the first two matches. There were moments the crowd were loudly behind Gunn and Robinson, but I don't think they ever thought there'd be a title change. I hope Stokely is okay, as despite him getting involved a lot, the table bump he missed looked pretty nasty. I am interested in seeing who is next in line for FTR, because we don't get Copeland and Christian return on the pay-per-view, but I think that will be the match for Revolution, and just we need to see when Cope and Christian comes back and challenge FTR. Women's tag team title match, Babes of Wrath versus Mercedes and Athena. A lot of moving parts down the stretch, and while not everything landed completely, I think this turned into a very entertaining match and title defense for Babes of Wrath. Cameron and Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale continue to find their groove and develop into a solid team. The collapse of Mercedes continues, this time perhaps creating a new enemy in the face of Ring of Honor Women's Champion Athena. I think that is the setup so Athena can win the TBS championship from Mercedes and dethrone her for the final time. And I think this will lead to that. And Athena doesn't look happy after she saw Mercedes getting pinned by Willow and retaining the title. So again, this is the moving story in the next year, 2026. Next up, we saw Gabe Kidd versus Darby Allin. The way these two were bleeding buckets, you would have thought there had been weapons galore, but there weren't. I hope this isn't another 4 month wait between Kidd matches, as he could certainly be a permanent player on the AEW roster despite only appearing simultaneously. He's always knocked it out of the park in the AEW, in my opinion. Allen continues to be one of the best baby faces in wrestling, and hopefully 2026 can finally be the time where he holds the AEW World Championship. I think MJF, after winning the title, can get a feud with Darby Allin in 2026 as well. That could be a very good feud. And Nigel McGuinness correctly said that Allen didn't win the match, more so survived it. That was a survivor from Darby Allin. Next up, we saw Mixed Nuts Mayhem match. Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Timeless Toni Storm versus the Death Riders. This was as much chaotic fun as you could have in a match, with the heels running wild early, but the babyfaces ramping up down the stretch got the crowd really going. The men-woman interaction were done really well, as we got a Claudio giant swing on Timeless Toni Storm, Yuta and Garcia getting beat up, and our belief interaction with Strong and Shafir, husband and wife. That was very fantastic to see. Who, even though I still don't think we have been told they are married on AWTV, it's a pretty bad kept secret, as the entire crowd knew. I love the involvement of Strong and Cassidy, and would love to see them involved in more hijinks heading into the new year. I think that was a very good match. Post match, Babes of Wrath came in to celebrate with the conglomeration. I think that is a very entertaining mixed match. Next up, we saw Kris Statlander and Jamie Hayter for the AEW World Women's World Title. Definition of back and forth battle, with both ladies throwing bombs, and as the match continues, the crowd ramped up and couldn't decide who to full get behind. These two beat the hell out of one another, and I'm not sure what's next for either, but hopefully Hayter remains in the title picture. She looked great. I think one of the option is to get her win the Owen Cup, because next year All In is in Wembley Stadium, and to belt Jamie Hayter at Wembley Stadium is a very good thing. And for the finish, we saw both ladies trade heavy shots, and Statlander stabbed Hayter, pissing the challenger off. As Statlander hits Hayter, only Hayter responded with Saturday Night Fever for another double down. Champion and challenger pulled themselves up, and both swings for the fences. Hayter went for the finish, but Statlander countered it to Saturday Night Fever for the win. So again, a very good women's title match. Next up, we saw the finals of the Continental Classic between Okada and Moxley. Hell of a way to cap off a spectacular Continental Classic, as this slowly build up to be a great finish, perhaps a surprising result to come. But I'm interested in seeing where Don Callis' family and the Riders goes from here. Perhaps this was a catalyst of the two factions feuding, which would be something certainly different in the new year. Initially, Okada just took out the leg of Jon Moxley, which were injured by Fletcher, and Moxley just wanted to paradigm shift Okada, but Okada just punted Moxley low and hit a Rainmaker, but Moxley kicks out. So then Moxley just applied the Bulldog choke in a rear naked choke, and Okada tried a Rainmaker, but Moxley ducked into a Rainmaker of his own, followed by another paradigm shift, but Okada kicks out, then a curb stop, and then he spiked Okada with a Death Rider and got the pin. So Death Riders hit ring after the match. They celebrated. Moxley cut a very babyface kind of a promo, and with all the black jackets wearing by the Death Riders, I thought there comes the turn, but it didn't come, and I think they are prolonging this turn, and we don't see Pac in the ring, which is a possibility that Pac will be the new leader of the Death Riders when they turned on Jon Moxley. So again, a very good final match for the Continental Classic. And in the main event, we saw Samoa Joe versus Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland versus MJF for the AEW Men's World Championship. An action-packed four-way main event on the night filled with some damn fine wrestling. Everyone looked good in this one, getting off plenty of offense, and after a long night, the crowd was still into it even down the stretch. You could really question why move the title of Page if Joe was going to have such a short reign, but having MJF hold this over Page's head before they inevitably have a singles match for the title makes sense. And Swerve didn't get pinned, and so does Hangman. So Joe MJF gets his win back from Joe, and Swerve and Hangman can challenge MJF for the title in the future. And I think the next MJF reign is set up to be another classic one because he has lined up Strickland, Darby, even Moxley or Hangman. So these feuds are gonna be fantastic. And if Will Ospreay comes back in time, we could get the match at Wembley Stadium as well. So again, a very good four-way for the world title, and MJF is the new AEW World Championship. MJF just take advantage while Page was looking to hit the buckshot laid on Joe. He low blowed Page and get the heat seeker on Samoa Joe to get his title win. So again, MJF is the new AEW World Champion, and it's gonna be a fantastic year in 2026 to see MJF with the title. And that's the show, folks. Please guys, like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching Elite Wrestling World. I will see you guys for the Dynamite post show review.